Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and this is going to be a review on Image Comics Cry Havoc, issue number 2. It is written by Simon Spurrier and art by Brian Kelly. First off, it has a three woven storyline where it has like a past, present, and future storyline. It is color coded, so the red is like the future. I think the tan is like the present, and I think blue is supposed to be the past. Like, and it's this, if you see around the paneling, it is set up a little different getting into issue 2. I thought it was, and it's following this one girl, and she's in the past. It's kind of like the first issue followed this one girl, and it's we find out she's kind of like this were hyena type. She has this ability to change into this were hyena, like a werewolf, but a were hyena, and it kind of follows her, and it goes into her past storyline, which is her just as a young teenage girl with this power. And then it goes into the present storyline, and she was in the army or some sort of military faction, and she was being flown somewhere to take out this bad guy. But it made it look like she was the only person with attributes that was along for the ride with the army. And then it goes into the future part, and she is captured by that said enemy, the villain. And basically she was just in a cage, and the villain was talking to her. It was just like the villain reveal. So that's the catch-up of the first issue. Second issue, it kind of alters a little bit. We and I do not remember the main character's name, but we see her right here, and she is in this cage. She is being still in conversation with the villain, and the villain is just trying to tell her that, hey, her idea of what she is and who she is wrong, and she's they do give different names, like real names about what she is, because she's not a werewolf, she's this were hyena thing. And we do get different names, like let's see if I can, like Guy Trash, a Shuck, and a Capelthought. They do also mention like the tale of the Black Hound from London, which is kind of like a really famous folklore tale. They do mention some other stuff like tales of a shaggy dog and stuff like that. They do mention other different types of nicknames and stuff for other creatures like that, and that's where it kind of hints at. But basically it's this villain, and supposed to be this like leader of a group. As you can see, she has henchmen and stuff like that, and I think it's a girl. It might be a guy, but I think the villain is a girl. I'm not quite sure, but it's right here, the guy with the person with the messed up face. But she goes into this whole spiel about like how she doesn't know who she is, but they're basically gonna like bring her down and build her back up type thing. They do this whole like spraying her down, and they make her change back into the like hyena type thing. They don't show a whole lot of it. It was in the panels I already showed, but it's down here where I'm popping my finger. You can see her kind of in the hyena form, and then right here they're spraying her down, and you can see her hand is changing into that hyena thing. And I think it's more of like the hyena thing is trying to protect her. We do go back into the present situation where she's with the army, and it's this whole discussion with the army, and they don't feel it's right that they have these gifted individuals on trek with them, and they're in Afghanistan like looking for that villain. They do show right here that eagle, that eagle imprint or whatever is one of the other army, let's say, members that are with them. Now at this moment I want to say there's like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It looks like 9 different people are in that truck, but we only get like certain views, so there could be more. But I do know out of these 9 people that they show us so far in this book, they reveal that 3 of them have like the gifts or the powers. Of course, we have the main character with her were hyena powers. We see somebody with this where she can project, or maybe this is like her. Maybe she can change into some were bird. But on the cover it is hinted, and if you look close enough inside the 2, you see that this is one of the guys, and he does have a power. They do show him in the truck, and he is a Norwegian individual. And it is revealed that he does have powers because we do get to a scene later on in the book. They go a lot more into the main characters, you know, like because the blue is her past, and this is like her as kind of a young adult, and it's her and her girlfriend. Basically, like I think this is after one of her outings as the war hyena, and they show it at the bottom, like, you know, and she's kind of remembering bits and pieces, and as she's going through, you know, her roommate slash girlfriend is pissed because it's just gotten like really messy and dirty around the house. She's barely there, and it's really because she's changing into this like were hyena type thing, and it's just she's kind of half in reality, half in the other reality type thing. It's not really like her fault. She just doesn't know exactly what's going on. Her recollection, she doesn't really remember the were hyena thing. It's kind of like a dream. So they're showing these panels as she's going out of the warehouse as the were hyena down at the bottom, and then over here like the were hyena is messing with a cat. And it is revealed later on that the roommate is like complaining about the mess and the smell, and she remembers having the dream about changing into the were hyena, messing with the cat, and sure enough, yep, she ate the cat and she brought it home, and it's in the trash can. That's what the smell and probably the mess she was talking about. But then as soon as she finds the cat, yep, oh dang, she remembers being the were hyena eating the cat. I kind of like stuff like that. Like it was just different experiences that, you know, as this were hyena that she's had to deal with type thing. They do go into the situation where they have found something that they are looking for, and it's leading up to that, you know, villain or whatever. But they do get in this house. There's this whole big shootout or whatever, and they basically tell this Norwegian guy, okay, it's your turn, go up. They do mention that all the gifted individuals that are with the military, that they're drugged, but the military doesn't understand why. Like, and neither do the gifted individuals, even though they're only allowed to take the pills like 3 times a day. When they do take the pills, it does suppress their abilities and stuff like that. So the military people that are with them are kind of like, okay, we got these like gifted people, why are we like suppressing them, you know, like shouldn't they be? And I think it's more along the lines of they want their abilities to, you know, like when they need them there in full strength type thing. Well, in the scene, basically there's a shootout, you know, and they're like, hey, okay, so they send in the Norwegian guy. So he goes in there, and he does this like whole prayer. It's pretty badass because he does this whole like, you know, in like true North like fashion, he says some North things that doesn't even translate. They just show here. He walks in there all bare breasted and everything, bullets ablaze, and like it ain't crap. This one other soldier, and you know that I guess maybe doesn't believe about what they can do, but she kind of like runs to like a panel and kind of peeks in about what he does, because he goes in and the guns stop, and that they're like, yep, he accomplished his mission. And they're like, you know, this other girl soldier is like, what do you mean that he accomplished his mission? It was like a second. There was like 12 guys in there and they were all shooting. Well, she peeked in and saw, and he is a warthog or a were-pig, and they do kind of hint at it on the cover. They show down here in the tune his tusk and his teeth, and I think it's really like this would be his tusk and his teeth, and then down here you can see some of his flesh. But right here in full fashion, oh yeah, you get to see it, and he's a big bad beast of a babajama right there, and that's what he did. He tore into every single one of them guys. We go back into the past, and it's more of her, you know, she was already struggling, and of course changing into the were hyena thing probably wasn't helping, but she was kind of listening to her girlfriend's rant, and she was trying to get a job. So she goes out trying to get a job. It doesn't work out so well. So she ends up at a bar, and she ends up like outside at this bar, and she ends up running into this guy, and by fate or, you know, maybe some other coincidence, but he ends up having powers of his own. They end up getting hassled by this one guy because he is of the Pakistani variety of people, and he's getting heckled by a white individual that just doesn't like. He's one of those guys like, oh, you're taking our jobs, and this is in London. But the heckler is like, hey, your people, you took our jobs, and come on, the racist stuff. I don't have to describe it too much. But they kind of play it off. They keep talking about like, hey, what's going on? I saw you were in line at the job, and he comes out, this individual, the Pakistani individual, is a real cool cat. He's real, he gets the main character talking and this and that, and at first she just wasn't feeling it, and she basically starts mentioning, hey, you don't even know what you are, and it kind of looks like this might be the person that kind of teaches her how to use her powers type thing. They do go back into the present where of course he has shifted back into his regular Norwegian form, and I think his name is Yurik, but and that's what I'm gonna go with now. But Yurik is he has changed back with no, Otar. I'm sorry, Otar, and Otar changed back to his regular form. And the girl that peeked in, they show her right here, but she's like freaked the fuck out. Like it like really messed with her, and she really wasn't ready. I guess she really didn't believe it, and blah blah blah. They even give her like the Utar asked to have this picture of like the hyena girl changing to show the other soldiers that didn't get to see him change, and they're like, look, we really do this. They kind of go more into the whole like like back into the pill thing, and they're kind of making a big deal of them taking the pills, and some of the other people are like, well, why are we taking the pills kind of thing. This is more into that story about the heckler and back in the past situation with the Pakistani individual and the hyena changing girl and the heckler, and of course the heckler kind of he gets his day, because this is when we find out this guy has some kind of powers, and we've seen that with the hyena girl. For some reason, when she's around certain people, they do get sick and they throw up. And we saw, I think it was her best friend that had that emotion when she was around her when she first got her hyena powers, and I think it's something similar to him. But it does show right here that he touches him and he throws up and he gets violently sick. Now the guy was already drinking, so the Pakistani guy plays it off in that fashion. Oh, he's just drunk, and you need to help him out, kind of thing. And they do call a doctor and help the guy out. It's not like he just does it maliciously or anything. The guy, he did give the guy many chances, and the guy kind of was a douche and just spouting racist stuff, and he kind of got the karma back in full force. So don't feel too bad about the heckler. But they kind of go back into the present situation, and they basically have found in this situation that Utar kind of like helped them out with, but they found that there's some kind of body, and it's leading them to the other location to find the villain that they're after, basically. So they kind of head out. They kind of burn the location, and they kind of head out to the next coordinates that they needed. They go back to the future situation, and they basically like reveal that the hyena girl is pregnant somehow. Now, of course, this is supposed to be the future situation. This is supposed to be after, when she was with the army and somehow she gets kidnapped by that villain. So we don't know how far in the future this is, but they do show her changing back from the hyena, and he says some, she says some certain things, and basically she's like, yeah, and we're going to talk about, your baby type thing. So it isn't really revealed if like it's a surprise to her, or if it's just a surprise to us, because we don't know how long it's been that she's been kidnapped or something like that. But for a second issue, it was still a really good read. I kind of love this whole like that. I love that it was she was like this were hyena, and she was helping out the army, and now that it's like the army and they have like this team of like were creature type things, it even got a little bit cooler. So I mean, issue number 2, Cry Havoc, yeah, so far so good. But that is my review. I do have the next, like, I think all the way to issue 6, I think, or issue 5 so far. But I have a whole lot of reviews coming, so be looking out for more, like, comment, subscribe. How'd I do? What'd you think? Have you read this? What'd you think about it? I don't know. Hit me up. Alright, I'll see y'all guys later. Bye.